Is a very tragic situation that has unfolded in inner city Johannesburg. The tally so far, what we have been told by authorities, is that 73 people have lost their lives when a building caught fire in the middle of, I think it was the early hours of this morning. Robert Mulaudzi is from the Johannesburg Emergency Services Department, and he joins me now. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Brax, and good morning to the viewers.
Very, very difficult work that you have had to deal with here. Let's start with the death toll. Does that still stand at 73, and what about those who are injured?
Yeah, Brax, the death toll stands now at 73 of the bodies which we have recovered. Out of that 73, we're looking at about 7 kids. The youngest child there is about a year and a half out of the 73, so we've got 7 young children. And then we right now counted about 52 people who were treated for smoke inhalation. They were treated for minor to moderate injuries, and those people were all transported to various healthcare facilities by our Gauteng Provincial Emergency Medical Services to various healthcare facilities in the city of Johannesburg. So that is the total number of the people who have been affected now. 73 fatalities and 52 injured people.
The sweep that you have been doing, I think in the last hour, which was 10 o'clock, at that time, the understanding is that you were still doing a final sweep. It's a 5-story building. Yes. Where are you now?
Yeah, we are around on the 3rd floor. So we should be moving now to the 4th floor and then also the 5th floor, because you will understand that the building is about 5 stories. So we have to make sure that we remove any uncertainty in terms of the people who might be trapped, because you will understand that the area is actually an informal settlement inside the building.
When you say it's an informal settlement, in fact, that is a statement that you made, I think that really just caught everyone, or it sparked interest.
Yes.
When you describe an informal settlement within a concrete structure,
yes,
what exactly did you find? And I'm going to ask you to just move a little bit this side so that people are able to see your face.
Yes. So it means that, the viewers out there, they must just have a picture of an empty building, right, in all the floors. So what happened is that when Brax comes inside the building, he will erect a shack inside the building. Somebody will come Robert will come and put his shack, somebody else will come and put his shack. So you end up having, each and every floor hundreds of shacks. Remember, they put like partitions because they need to make sure that it's a smaller place for them to be able to reside in that area.
And there's a bit of privacy as well.
Yes, so you find out that there's no emergency exit or pathways where these residents can be able to move out. Hence, you find out that you might have situations where residents might be, trapped inside, maybe while they're trying to evacuate the area. Hence, you find out that now that we have the fire incident, we have to make sure that, so we move from each and every floor, because you might find out that maybe some of the people that are still trapped in that debris, which we had when the area was burning, right? Because, of course, you might have issues where there's maybe illegal connection. I mean, it's obvious because it's an abandoned building. You might have situations where maybe they're using, liquid petroleum gas because they don't have power. They might be using your paraffin stoves. They might be using candles. So all those items, they actually makes them vulnerable to fire incidents. Not only that, Brax, the crime, it means that also because of the building, it will make them actually vulnerable, because maybe people who are mugging people or robbing people outside the building, they might actually use it as a hideout to run into the building. So those are some of the things which might happen here. So hence, we're saying that for now, because the fire has been extinguished, we want to remove any uncertainty. We don't want to find ourselves in a situation whereby a day later we are told that there's a body which was found inside the building. So we want to make sure that we have removed any uncertainty. All the bodies have been recovered there, and then we can hand over this incident to South African Police Service.
Final question to you, sir. So many lives lost, 73, and as you were saying, you are now on the 3rd floor, and so that means that 2 more floors have got to be swept. Yes. It's possible that you may find yet more bodies, which is going to make this situation even more tragic. Why do you think that the people were not able to evacuate.
Oh, yes.
And some of them burning beyond recognition, at least based on what your CEO told me a little bit.
Yeah, the area is that it's now an informal settlement, right? So you have got a picture of an informal settlement inside the building. So even some ablution facilities, they are not there. So, you find a situation whereby, the area is not really user-friendly. You understand what I'm trying to say, Brax? So when you have an emergency, that area becomes really much complicated in terms of the safety of the people who are trying to move away. You find that some of the areas we have to use our forcible entry equipment to be able to, gain access to those areas. So that becomes some of the challenges which you might face. I mean, in a building like that, you don't know about the structural integrity of the building because the building is not maintained. So it means as and when you send in members in there, you have to do it cautiously. You don't want to have overloaded with so many members inside the building because anything might happen there because there's no proper maintenance of the building. So those are some of the challenges which we encountered as and when we were, conducting firefighting operations. But we're hoping that as soon as we are done with our search and recovery, we will be able to hand over this incident to our colleagues from the South African Police Service. Of course, we want to discourage people to go back, or any other people who might be tempted to go inside these buildings, because I've got about 23 years of service in the fire department, the very same city of Johannesburg. I've never come across something like this in my entire 23 years of service. It's a very disturbing and devastating incident which has occurred, of which I'm sure it will take a lot of time without even people witnessing it. It's a very sad day, in the city of Johannesburg. I'm hoping that this incident has actually, triggered, us and the leadership of the city to intensify the conversations about the safety of the buildings in this inner city, because we know that we will always now and then go and attend to fire incidents which are happening in these, buildings because of they are hijacked. They are not even paying for the services which are provided by the city. So, but with this one here, we've activated our colleagues from disaster management. They are here. We've got other city stakeholders, social development, our chaplaincy services who are conducting trauma counseling to the affected families, because, Brax, you need to understand that right now we've got a situation where family members have lost their loved ones. We've got mothers who have lost their kids in here. We have to make sure that we assist them in terms of trauma counseling and all that. How do they move forward? How can we be able to assist them right now in this situation we find ourselves in? Is by making sure that we recover some of those bodies which might still be trapped, so that they can be able to find closure. So we're just hoping that we will do our best with whatever resources we have to make sure that we assist them to find closure.
So much information, but also laced with just disturbing news as you have relayed this information to us. Let me thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Robert Mulaudzi, he's with the Johannesburg Emergency Services.